Hello everyone. Today we will understand the Ich Q10 model of Pharmaceutical Quality System. For understanding this model, we should know the Ich Q10 Guideline, which is a tri-party guideline devised and accepted by three major regulatory authorities, the USFDA, the European Union and Japan. This guideline was released in April 2009. So let us review this guideline. As we know, Ich Q10 was released in 2009 and it defines the pharmaceutical quality management system as a management system to direct and control a pharmaceutical company with regards to quality. We will be reviewing this guideline today. In the previous presentation, we have seen the USFDA guidance on the pharmaceutical quality system. The link for this presentation is provided into the description box. If we see the outline of Ich Q10 guideline, first it gives the introduction about the guideline. Second, it defines the scope, relationship of this guideline with the regional CGMPs, ISO standards and Ich Q7, its relation with the regulatory approaches, objectives of this guideline. There are three major objectives, two important enablers, design and content consideration of the guideline, quality manual, 8 major responsibilities of management, and in continual improvement of the process and product quality, it defines the life cycle stage goals, elements of the pharmaceutical quality system, 4 important elements, and continual improvement of the pharmaceutical quality system, 3 aspects of it. Firstly, moving with the introduction part, we have seen the definition that it is a management system to direct and control a pharmaceutical company with regards to quality. This model, which is presented into this guideline, is referred to as the Ich Q10 model, and it is based on ISO 9000-2015 concepts. Now if we see, it is inclusive of 3 important parts. It includes the CGMP regulations, it improves the Ich Q8 pharmaceutical development and Ich Q9 on quality risk management. Now when we talk about this Ich Q10 model, we should take into consideration that it also considers the design and development phase, which is usually not included into the CGMP regulation. How it is included, we will see further. Now if we see the scope of this guideline, it is applicable for development and manufacturing of APIs, drug products, biotechnology products, biological products throughout the life cycle. Now when we say the life cycle of products, it defines 4 important phases in the product life cycle. First being the pharmaceutical development. Emphasis here should be noted that this guidance is applicable to the pharmaceutical development stages as well, where the most CGMPs do not cover. Now in the pharmaceutical development part, it includes the drug substance development, formulation development, manufacturing of the investigational products, delivery system development where applicable, manufacturing process development and scale up, and analytical method development. The second stage in the product life cycle is new product transfers to the manufacturing site and transfers within the manufacturing site or the testing sites. Third phase is the more focused stage, which is the commercial manufacturing part. It is the acquisition and control of materials, provision of facilities, utilities and equipment, production including packing and labeling, quality control and quality assurance, release of the product to the market, storage and distribution. And the final stage include the product discontinuation, where there is document and sample retention and continued product assessment, majorly in the form of stability studies and complaint handling if any. Now if we see the relationship of Ich Q10 with the regional CGMP requirements, we should understand that the regional CGMP requirements, Ich Q7 on the API manufacturing and ISO guidelines, that is 9000-2015, are the foundations for preparation of this guidance. Ich Q10 is intended to be used together with all the other CGMP requirements. As we have seen earlier, GMP do not cover all the stages of the product, basically the initial product development part. So this guidance is aimed to promote continual improvement across entire product life cycle, right from development to product discontinuation. If we see the relationship of this guidance to the regulatory approaches for a specific product or manufacturing facility should be commensurate with the level of product and process understanding, the results of quality risk management, and the effectiveness of the pharmaceutical quality system. The effectiveness of this pharmaceutical quality system is usually evaluated during the regulatory inspection when it is carried out at the manufacturing site. Now we move to the most important part, that is objectives of this guidance. This can be an important interview question like what are the objectives of an efficient pharmaceutical quality system, or what are the main objectives of the Ich Q10 model. So basically there are three main objectives that we'll talk about. First, to achieve product realization. When we say product realization, it is to achieve a system that will allow the delivery of product with defined quality attributes to meet its intended purpose, right? The second is to establish and maintain a state of control. We say we have a state of control when all the process parameters and product quality parameters are operating within a defined state. And third, to have a continual improvement, product and process improvement, reduction into the variability, and innovation. This guideline states two important enablers, which is again an important interview question. The two enablers are knowledge management and quality risk management. When we say knowledge management, knowledge is the prior knowledge which we have for the product or the process. It is the knowledge that is gained during the development studies, during technology transfer, during execution of validations at site, or during the investigation of failures. While the quality risk management, it is applied proactively to facilitate continual improvement. Now, when we say quality risk management, it is a very vast topic in itself. We'll definitely come up with important videos on understanding the concept of quality risk management, and we'll see practically how to execute the risk management. You're requested to subscribe to this channel so that you can get updates whenever these videos are uploaded. Moving to the next part, that is design and content consideration. When we design an efficient pharmaceutical quality system, it is expected that it should be well structured. It should be clear to understand, to facilitate a common understanding and consistent application across the organization. It should be appropriate for each product life cycle stage. The size and complexity of the activities that are being carried out into the manufacturing organization should be taken into consideration while designing the system. The principles of quality risk management should be utilized while designing the pharmaceutical quality management system. Ensure the quality of outsourced materials and activities are appropriate. Management responsibilities are well defined. Should include the four important elements which we'll see in the next slides, and performance indicators, or more popularly known as the KPIs, are identified and monitored for ensuring the effectiveness of the pharmaceutical quality system. It is expected to have a quality manual in place. The quality manual should define the quality policy. Quality policy is the overall objective with reference to quality of the organization, scope of the entire pharmaceutical quality system, identification of the processes that are carried out within the pharmaceutical quality system with the process maps and the flow charts, and the overall management responsibilities. Speaking of the management responsibilities, this guidance defines 8 important management responsibilities. Now, if you can relate these responsibilities to the management responsibilities defined into the USFDA guidance of the pharmaceutical quality system, they are almost similar responsibilities defined here, because this guidance has been released later to that. It was in September 2006, while this guidance was released in April 2009, right? So they are more refined responsibilities here. The responsibilities include management commitment, quality policy, quality planning, resource management, internal communication, management review, and outsource activities. There's one additional responsibility here, that is the responsibility during the change of product ownership, which is not specifically defined into the USFDA guidance. We'll see one by one the details of each responsibility. When we say management commitment, the management should participate in the design, implementation, monitoring, and maintenance of the pharmaceutical quality system. It should demonstrate strong and visible support. It should ensure availability of timely and effective communication and the escalation process. It should define roles, responsibilities, and authorities of each individual or each role. It should ensure independent quality unit which have appropriate authorization. They should conduct the management reviews appropriately. They should advocate continual improvement and commit appropriate resources. As we have seen, a quality policy should be available, which should be the part of quality manual. Now, the quality policy defines overall intention and direction related to quality. Expectations to comply with the regulatory requirement with continual improvement. The policy should be communicated and at all levels, and review should be carried out periodically. Moving to the quality planning part, defining and communicating appropriate quality objectives at all levels should be a management responsibility. The quality objectives should be aligned with the strategies that are put in place. They should provide resource and training to achieve those quality objectives. Establishing, monitoring, communicating, and acting upon the key performance indicators should be another important management responsibility. Moving ahead with the resource management, determine and provide adequate and appropriate resources, which should include human, financial, material, facility, and equipment. They should ensure appropriate application of these resources, review the application of the resources, and reallocate if required. There should be appropriate internal communication mechanism which should be established, and the communication should flow at all levels, specifically with related to the quality issues. Management review should be conducted at the routine frequency to define the effectiveness of the pharmaceutical quality system. The conclusion of the key performance indicators, the product quality, and the product performance should be reviewed during the pharmaceutical management review. Control on the outsource activities. All the outsource activities to any of the contractors should be evaluated, and the contractor approval system should be in place. There should be defined technical agreements with the contractors. Monitoring and reviewing of the performance of the contractors should be done routinely. Monitoring of the incoming materials should be carried out. And finally, the change in product ownership. Whenever there is change in the product ownership, management should take the responsibility of transfer of all the essential information to the next party. When we move to the continual improvement of process performance and product quality, there are important life cycle stage goals that are identified across all the 4 life cycle stages that we have seen initially. Now, beginning with the pharmaceutical development, the life cycle stage goal of this stage is to design a product and its manufacturing process to consistently deliver the intended performance and meet the requirements. Exploratory and clinical development studies are outside the scope of this guidance, but inputs of these are inputs to the pharmaceutical development. During the technology transfer, the goal is to transfer a product and process knowledge between development and manufacturing and within or between the sites. This knowledge forms the basis of manufacturing process, the control strategy, the process validation approach, and the ongoing continual improvement. During commercial manufacturing, the goal is to achieve product realization, establishing and maintaining a state of control, and facilitating continual improvement. Desired product quality is routinely met, suitable process performance is achieved, the set of controls are appropriate, improvement opportunities are identified and evaluated. In the last stage, that is the discontinuation, The goal is to manage the terminal stage effectively. Retention of documents and samples and continued assessments like complaint handling and stability and reporting the requirements to the regulatory authority as applicable. Under this section, 4 important elements of pharmaceutical quality system has been defined. And these 4 elements includes the process performance and product quality, corrective and preventive actions, change management and management review. This is again a very important interview question where you can be asked what are the important elements of the pharmaceutical quality system or what important elements does Ich Q10 model define. So these are the 4. We'll see one by one in detail. Process performance and product quality should use QRM approach for establishing a control strategy. The control strategy should include parameters and attributes related to drug substance, input materials, facility and equipment operating conditions, in-process control, finished product specification, methods and frequency of monitoring. They should provide tools for measurement of these parameters and attributes. They should be able to analyze the parameters and attributes and identify the source of variation. They should include a feedback onto the product quality both internally and externally. Externally, specifically in the form of market complaints. They should provide knowledge to enhance the process understanding, enrich design space and enable innovative approach to pharmaceutical validation. Now, application of this aspect into the different life cycle stage include the knowledge can be used during establishing the control strategy at development stage. Monitoring provides preliminary information of process performance at the tech transfer stage. During commercial manufacturing, ensuring the performance within the state of control, and during the discontinuation, continue for stability and taking appropriate actions. The second important element is the corrective and preventive action. A CAPA system should be in place for implementing resulting from the investigation of complaints, deviations, recalls, audits and trends. Emphasis should be on the identification of root cause with a well-structured approach. Level of effort and formality should be commensurate with the level of risk. And if we see the applicability of CAPA, during the development stage, it is useful for incorporation into an iterative design. During tech transfer, it is an important system of feedback and feed forward. During commercial manufacturing, it is most important. Well, it should be very well structured and it is a much emphasis during audits as well. During discontinuation, impact on product remaining in the market as well as other products. The next important element of pharmaceutical quality system is change management. Quality risk management should be used for evaluating any change. The changes should be evaluated with respect to manufacturing authorization holder to ensure if any regulatory application or regulatory filing is required. Generally, when we work within the design space, it doesn't require any filing regulatory update. Should be evaluated by expert team from the cross-functional departments. Evaluation should be done after implementation to confirm the change objectives are achieved. Now, if we see the use during development, changes should be documented. During tech transfer, documentation of adjustments made during the technology transfer should be documented. During commercial manufacturing, it again becomes a very formal and a very structured approach where there is always an oversight by quality assurance. And during discontinuation, the change management is followed similarly to the commercial manufacturing stage. The last element, that is management review. We have seen very much in detail about the management review into the last presentation of the pharmaceutical quality system defined by USFDA as well. The management review should include the follow-up actions from any previous management review meetings. They should include the results of regulatory inspections, audit findings, commitment to authorities, review of complaints and recalls, conclusion of process performance and product quality, CAPA actions, and identifying improvement. These management reviews should be conducted at a predefined intervals, and all the important site leadership and if required global leadership team should be the part of it. Now, application of management review at development stage is to ensure the adequacy of process design. During tech transfer is to assess the developed product can be manufactured commercially. During commercial manufacturing, it again becomes a very formal structure which includes all the requirements of review and the points to be considered. And discontinuation should include the stability studies and the recall details. If we move to the next part, the final part, that is continual improvement of the pharmaceutical quality system, it basically defines three important aspects which are again very common. That is management review, which measures the achievement of the pharmaceutical quality system objective, assessment of the performance indicators like complaint, recall, changes, self-assessment, trends and inspections. Monitoring of the internal external factors like any new regulatory guidance, any new regulations or quality issues, innovations into the market that are taking place and changes into product ownership, and the outcome of management review. That is improvement to the pharmaceutical quality system, allocation and relocation of resources, revision of the quality policy and objectives, and escalation of quality. Finally, the guidance gives an overview of the Ich Q10 model. If we can see, it covers the four important manufacturing stages of the product, that is pharmaceutical development, technology transfer, commercial manufacturing and product discontinuation. Now, as it is shown, the GMPs are majorly involved right from the technical transfer or the technology transfer phase. But the PQS model, which includes the management responsibilities, the 4 PQS elements and the 2 enablers, they are effective right from the pharmaceutical development phase. Thus, this is the main important difference between GMPs and the pharmaceutical quality system model, where we can say that GMP is a part of pharmaceutical quality system and the PQS model is much more broader, which includes the pharmaceutical development as well. With this, we come to the end of today's presentation. Hope you have liked it. Kindly subscribe to Prof Talks for more such videos.